Welcome to Ghoulish Gab, always spooky, always under 7 minutes. Let's talk about giving up. At what point do you give up on a movie or a franchise or a show?
Yeah.
Or anything? What does it take to give up?
Well, this is the first thing that popped into my head when we talked about this subject, and I know it's dumb, but movies specifically, if a movie has bad blood, I just can't stand it. And by that I mean if it's past 1980 and the blood is like bright, like cherry red,
right? Or
just looks if I can't even pretend to believe that it's blood, I am over it.
You'll turn it off?
Yeah, like if it looks like red paint. Like there are exceptions when it's obviously like if it's a horror comedy or something where you know that they're intentionally doing it. But if I'm supposed to really believe that this person got stabbed in the chest and it is past the point where when it's past the point that practical effects should have kicked in, it takes me out of the movie. I might not fully shut it off, but I'm already over it.
That's fair. I think with something that if I'm scrolling and I find a movie, hey, the picture looks kind of cool and the description looks all right, and I just put it on. If I get like 20 minutes into it and I've connected to like absolutely nothing and I don't like the look of it or anything that's going on so far,
yeah,
I think I'm going to turn it off. If I get past that 30-minute point, I might be too invested.
That's fair. That's fair. It's like movies where you can't even force yourself to pay attention. You find yourself scrolling not because you're wanting to check your phone, but because there's just nothing keeping you in the film. Yes.
Yeah. What about like a franchise that like I was trying to think of franchises that I kind of gave up on because usually, you know, if you like the first couple movies, you kind of keep going.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm like, you know, there's probably one or two of those last Hellraiser movies that I never saw.
Yeah.
Because it got so bad where it just wasn't even entertaining.
Yeah.
For a little while there, and I'm not talking about the remake from a couple years ago. That was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. But like the couple straight, you know, they started going like straight to video from I think like the third or fourth one.
Yeah,
and then you know, there's like 8 or 9 of those fucking things total, and it just got so boring. It was just boring. Like I'm like I can't. There's nothing. There was like nothing to grab onto.
Like even
so
the kills,
I can't do it.
Even the kills became repetitive.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't even like you were getting a new and interesting kill. Like some of the Final Destination films. No, it was just, there was no reason to stay invested. 2 things on a franchise or a TV show that will stop me from watching is, with a TV show, is if it's too long between seasons. I don't want to have to go back and rewatch an entire season just because it's been so long since the last one came out.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then recasting. I hate when they recast like a character. There are situations where I get it, like if an actor or actress has died and you have no choice, but that character needs to be in the storyline. But if you recast somebody because you wanted to rework your budget or they just didn't vibe with it, I don't know. I can't stop myself from seeing the person that played it originally. A good example is like the Mummy films, the third one where they like didn't have Rachel Weisz's Evie. Yeah. Like no, I can't do it.
Yeah, you're not missing too much with that one. It's okay. It's entertaining, but it's not amazing. TV shows I think I'm faster to give up on in general.
Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead, I gave up on that a couple years into it. Once they started splitting it up into each season, it was like 8 episodes, and then you waited more than half a year, and then the second part of the season was another 8. And they just were putting so much filler just to get the ratings and spread it out, and it's just so stupid.
At some point, when you have that much plot, you're like, did they forget they're in a zombie apocalypse? Like, I swear you'd go a whole half an episode without even seeing a walker.
It was so boring. I think they were just trying to draw it out just because they knew people would watch and they could draw it out. So that was something there.
And in things like that, like The Walking Dead, which is based off of a graphic novel, when they start to stray too much from the source material and not in a good way.
Yeah.
So if you're watching something based on a graphic novel or a book, and it just goes so far, and you know that it's because they just didn't want to, and the director had a different idea. It bothers me. If I was already a fan of the books, I want to see what was it. I get that there's ways that they can do it well, but there are some times where I'm like, oh, you just didn't want to try. You gave up.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the Walking Dead comic book, and I mean, obviously the show was going to do things different, but there was some things where you're just like, you could have done this. You're just being a coward for some of it. Like, and then there was some things where I'm like, ugh, you're just not killing people to drag this on. And yeah, that one. I don't think I've ever walked out of a movie theater though. Have you ever done that? Like given up on a movie in the theater?
I have once.
Okay.
And that was for
Was it a horror movie?
No, it wasn't a horror movie. It was 1,000 Ways to Die in the West.
Okay.
Which, if Neil Patrick Harris can't save a movie for me, there's no saving it. So that's I generally don't walk out of, because I spent the money. I want to watch the film. There was one recently that Sean watched, and I can't remember what it was. It was one of the newest movies, and he straight up said if he hadn't gone with friends, he would have walked out. But I think some people are more apt to walk out. Like, some people say life's too short to watch bad movies. I watch bad movies all the time. I'll stick it out for the most part.
Yeah. Well, tell us in the comments what it takes for you to give up on a movie, a franchise, a TV show, et cetera, et cetera. And, yeah, tell us why and do that.
Do that.
Okay, bye.
Bye.